So just a little blurb of a recap, because I'll do the proper one when everyone's here and we actually resume the the proper campaign. You guys had, met Ahmad, and he asked you for a couple of favors. One of them was to go fetch his component bag that he said was sentient. So when you agreed to do that, you went out to that bandit camp that he told you about and split the group. One was the distraction and one was the infiltration. Molly had locate objects, so she managed to find where the bag was in the tent, and when that happened, it brought the leader over, but she did notice that the desk there with the bag also had the symbol from an old acquaintance of hers, known as a group known as the Depraved Thrill. After you finally all defeated the bandits and brought down the leader, didn't kill her though, you buried her. And as we begin, as you're all preparing to get ready to question her, with Mimi eating all the bodies in the background, when you glance over, Aurelio, you see a familiar face, is Al with his scraggly orange hair and very skinny looking body, and it seemed like he just kind of snuck in somehow very close to you all and chucks this crystal that explodes next to you, and you don't really have much time to react as this purple and black swirly smoke inhabits all of you and clouds your vision, and eventually you find yourselves located in a much darker, scarier looking arena, but this is the only arena map I have, so it looks bright and sunny, but it isn't. It is dark and scary, and in the rafters there are a bunch of like shadowy figures that are cheering, and but their cheering is very like guttural and kind of shrieky, and it just kind of irks you just a little bit. It just feels a little off as you hear them. Aurelio and Molly, you are down here together, and as you look around trying to figure out what's going on, who should appear but Abyssria up on the top rafters here. She extends her arms up as she's like lifts up through the ground, it seems, and the crowd does this weird like shrieky, echoey, guttural cheer even louder, and she does bows, to each side, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, my adoring fans. Oh, and look, we have new playthings." And again, this erupted cheer of guttural screeches happens, and Abyssria, specifically at Aurelio, does this little wave.
He'll probably do his classic wave back, just that little side wave.
And she's just, "I'm so glad the two of you could make it. Well, him specifically, you're just for fucking fun," she says to Molly. And she goes, "I hope you don't mind. I whipped up a few challenges for you. And I hope you realize that if you fail," and she points behind you, and as you turn in these sorts of, like this section of the balcony rafters, you see, I don't want to get all their tokens, everyone else. Like, NPCs and PCs that are missing today are all up there, bound up like head to foot and gagged and kind of like in various ways trying to get out, but can't. Sorry, they're chains, not like rope bindings. And she basically says, "If you succeed, though, you might find you'll take the punishment instead. But if you should fail, well," she gestures to them, "and I don't want to know what might happen to them. Oh, especially my new favorite." And she reaches back and pulls Willow up specifically next to her. He's not with the others, he's with her, kind of also bound in chains and looking a bit scared, and you can see he's trying to, like, turn into an animal, but cannot seem to in this current predicament. Wouldn't want to find out what happens to him. Now, let the games begin. She waves her hand, and in the middle of the arena, through the sand, there's this platform that rises up, and 2 buttons are on it, and you can read what each one says. One says, the big challenge, and one says, the little challenge. Your turn to pick. I'm excited, aren't you? What will they choose?
I'd probably just look over to Molly and just say something along the lines of, like, well, go big or go home, right?
Yeah, you know Abyssria a little more than me, so I feel like the little challenge might not be so little.
I don't think that there's anything little about any of this. Fuck it, and I just slap the go big button.
All right. As you do, the platform lowers again. That brought these buttons up, and through the sand comes up this big, large sphinx instead. And it towers, like, over you, sitting all proudly as it says, "What can run but never walks? What has a mouth but never talks? Has a head but never weeps? Has a bed but never sleeps?"
Could you repeat that?
What can run but never walks? Has a mouth but never talks? Has a head but never weeps? Has a bed but never sleeps?
Kind of pull Molly off to the side a little bit and, like, whisper in her ear. I'm like, I think it's a river. I don't know about you, but that's my guess.
Yeah, that's better than anything I could have came up with, so.
Is that a river?
And the Sphinx stares down at you and then nods approvingly. Oh, that one was easy. Give them a harder one. You can feel me, but not touch me. You can see me, but not look at me. I am small, but you could never lift me. What am I?
Hate to be that guy, but could you repeat yourself again?
Perhaps you should open your ears some more. You can feel me, but not touch me. You can see me, but not look at me. I am small, but you could never lift me. What am I?
Well, any ideas, Molly?
This one might take me a minute.
Tick tock. He's just, like, stroking Willow's hair.
Okay, don't be mad at me if I ask you to repeat it a third time.
You can feel me, but not touch me. You can see me, but not look at me. I am small, but you could never lift me. What am I?
The only thing that comes to my mind is, like, air. I don't know that I see air, actually, so.
I might be able to see the wind, though.
Yeah. Like leaves on the wind or something. Oh, I should be Molly, sorry. Like leaves on the wind.
Is that your final answer?
Well, Aurelio, got any other ideas?
I guess nothing.
Good. That's wrong. And she smiles,
Oh, yes.
and the Sphinx looks back at her, kind of perturbed, because he was supposed to be the one to say it was right or wrong.
Yeah.
But she doesn't care and just claps. Give them another! Give them the last one! He looks back at you, kind of like shifts a little, and you get this feeling like he obviously doesn't really want to be here, but like you, he's probably brought here for some reason. How much dirt is in a hole 4 feet deep and 2 feet wide?
Aurelio just uses shape earth and pulls out 4 feet and 2 feet worth of dirt and says that much.
The Sphinx nods and says, that is incorrect. There is no dirt in a hole.
God damn it.
And with that, he starts bustling into the sand and disappears beneath it as you hear some muffled screams from behind you as your party starts getting a bit strangled by the chains around them, including Willow up ahead. Ooh, that was so fun! Bravo, bravo. Pet, you never were really all that smart, were you?
Nah, wise but not intelligent. I'll give you that.
And just imagine if you did things differently, we wouldn't have to be here, would we?
Fair enough.
Your next challenge. I desire some new jewelry, some gems to fasten into a beautiful new necklace. You will get me a crystal of blue, of green, and of red. Good luck! And stairs start forming, leading down in front of you. I presume you go down, or...
Alright, then, yeah. I suppose this is our only option here.
Alright, well, you first.
I'll lead the way.
Alright, with that Aurelio leading the way. Get your...
Knowing full well that I can run pretty fast and disengage if I need to.
You guys end up finding yourselves in this cave. There is a small pool of water over here. And, yeah, it's a large cave. It looks like there's some cobwebs and things around that people haven't been here for a long time in an Abyssria cave. Who the fuck knows? But you do see there's almost like some old mining storage barrels over here, and obviously these glowing crystals up north. What do you do?
I think Molly's just gonna kind of investigate the mining equipment for just a second to see if it looks any different than, like, normal stuff.
Sure, roll me an investigation.
Alright.
With a 14, yeah, you're pretty sure it's just old mining equipment. Like, there doesn't seem to be anything fancy. It does look like whatever was here before was trying to harvest these crystals, as there's like a barrel of some of them, but those ones have clearly been dormant for however long, because they are not glowing anymore. Anything else you guys wish to do?
I think Aurelio just starts making his way towards the crystals.
Yeah, I think Molly's gonna walk in there as well.
Alright. You see them glowing around you. They're really pretty.
No, I don't really want to touch them. I don't know about you. I'll take
Yeah, I
my
feel like
quarterstaff and just start to, like, hit one off the wall.
Make me an attack roll, a melee attack roll.
Molly's definitely just gonna watch and see how this unfolds first before trying anything.
A 22?
Alright, 22 definitely hits it. Roll the damage for your staff.
8 damage.
Alright, you definitely get a good chunk peeled into it. Which one are you hitting, by the way?
I'll say blue first.
Which blue? Like, move your token where you're at. It might matter.
I guess of the room, are there more clear crystals or more faded crystals? You had mentioned something about some of them losing their color, right?
The ones that had been disconnected from the wall and clearly left in the barrel for who knows how long. Those ones are dead, but all the ones stuck into the wall are still quite glowing.
Probably right there, then.
Okay.
Going for this one.
Okay. So, as you do, you hear a low rumbling roar, and out from this water pool, a big tentacle pops up and starts lashing out to hit you. I don't think a 13 will hit you.
Hey, no, it won't.
But a 27 will.
That it will.
You take, 23 damage. That was a lot. And with that, let's all roll initiative, shall we?
I'm gonna
a
that
4.
just because it's a nat 1 and I'm lucky.
Yes. All right. And yeah, with that, you go first, Aurelio.
I think Aurelio's probably gonna fire off a shot here with his pistol.
Good idea.
A 10 I don't think hits, though.
It does not.
And then with that, am I currently engaged?
It hit you from there.
Alright, then I'm gonna use my disengage and move across the room.
Sounds like a good plan.
Right back up over into this corner.
Alright. Is that the end of your turn?
I think that'll do it for now.
With that, another tentacle pops out of the water. And, oops. This moves right up to the edge. Molly, it seems to try to reach out to hit you, but it can't quite make it that far, but then the tip of it shoots out a little water beam at you. I doubt a 13 hits you.
No.
How about a 17?
Nope.
Oh, damn. So, and nothing gets you. Now it is your turn.
Alright. I think Molly's just kind of looked down at it, like, kind of with a frown at, like, her leather jacket getting wet. Like, damn it! And I guess just whichever one was the first one that attacked Aurelio, she's going to take a shot at with her pistol.
Make me that attack roll.
Alright.
Unfortunately.
So 8 damage.
Oh, I see. You didn't roll an 8 to hit, you rolled 18. Okay. Yeah, 18 definitely hits. You do 8 damage.
Alright. And then I should have done this earlier, I don't know why I didn't. I'm gonna use my bonus action to do a hunter's mark on it.
Okay.
And then I get 2 attacks, so on this second attack, it'll actually include the hunter's mark. So let me roll that again.
Put a little yellow dot for Hunter's Mark.
Thank you. And it's another 18.
Alright, 18 definitely hits. Ooh. Good damage. This thing gets a huge chunk taken out as blood and viscera scatters, and it kind of... You hear the roar of this creature underneath the water as the tentacle shudders. It's still up and moving, but it's looking really fucked up.
Alright.
Anything else?
No, I think I will. Even though it didn't hit me, I think I'm still gonna back up a little bit.
Okay. That brings us back to Aurelio.
So Aurelio's going to kind of just point forward over the kind of pond or the pool of water that these things are coming out of. And above the pool, a giant ice storm just comes right down and hits the water. So that's going to be a dex save, please, for both creatures, or both tentacles, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, they both passed. One got a nat 20.
They still will take half
Yeah.
of 19.
Alright, this tentacle finally kind of gets shafted by all of these ice spikes that start storming down on it, and it just flops into the water. This one takes 10 damage. And
And then with my bonus action, I'd like to try and hide.
oh shit, it got rid of the initiative for it. Let me put it back on the... And yes, please roll me that bonus.
27.
14. I want to say it was right between you two.
14.
Yeah. All right. I mean, you're pretty sure you're fucking hidden there. With that, on a 14, another tentacle shows up. And they shift over as close to the edge as possible. And they get closer is the question. Nope. They angrily spray their little sprays, but it falls just short of you guys. Molly, what would you like to do?
All right. Well, I guess first she's just gonna take kind of like a free action to look over at Aurelio and be like, so you think this is like one creature and a bunch of arms, or you think it's like something?
I'm picturing one creature with a bunch of arms, but if I need to do a nature check, I could.
Yeah, I'll give you a free nature check.
Sweet.
9.
Yeah, I mean, your guess is as good as mine, Aurelio.
I'm just hoping it's not Cthulhu.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Cthulhu won't be limited to 30 feet if his tentacles were new.
True, but...
You can hope.
Well, I'm gonna use my bonus action to transfer my Hunter's Mark to a new tentacle. Are both of these full health? I don't think they've been hit yet.
One has been hit. This one has had his ice storm on it. This one on the right.
Oh, that's right. That's the one I would like to put it on, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I'm gonna shoot it again.
All right, you hit, definitely.
All right. So 11 damage.
It is definitely very bloodied and still up. Oh wait, I have a monster scream sound effect.
Second attack is a 15 to hit.
Oop, wrong one to turn up. The 15 does hit. Sorry.
Almost makes me sad now.
Alright, with a 14, this one also perishes.
Alright, and that is my turn.
Back to Aurelio. What would you like to do?
I think Aurelio's just looking back over his shoulder and he's like, well, I think she's got this. And he goes back to trying to pry one of these crystals off the wall.
It's a good plan. The red one or the green one?
So I've already got the blue one then, right?
No, you didn't, but that one's close to it, so I don't know if you want to go back to dealing with that guy.
I think I'm pretty much right on top of one of each, huh? I'll go after the green one, but can I try and do like potentially like a sleight of hand to try and get it off instead of trying to whack it off?
How are you sleight of handing it exactly?
I would say
just asking it real nicely.
I would say I'm trying to approach this more like a surgeon than a blacksmith, you know? Like instead of just trying to break it like I did a moment ago, I'm going in with like a dagger and trying to like chisel away as opposed to just bashing my way through it.
Yeah, fuck it. It's a one shot. I'll give it to you. Oh,
I like
shit. Yeah, I guess with a 30, go ahead. Any reason you are rolling these to DM only, by the way?
I have no idea.
Alright.
I'm gonna hit public on there. Oh, I think it was something from last session. I tried to maybe do something that only you saw.
Yeah. I guess make me, make me a damage roll, but add plus 10 because of the amount of sleight of hand you just did there.
I'll just do like a scimitar or something.
Yeah, that works.
7 or 17 damage, I guess.
Alright, so somehow you found like just the right spot and you started to wedge it and it's really popping out loose. You're at the very edge of getting this out. Anything else for your turn?
I think if I've still got a bonus action, I'm going to use it to just try and keep myself hidden, using like my cloak to kind of blend into the rock wall here.
Okay. And that works. With that, on the tentacles turn, another one pops out, and seeing as they can't necessarily reach you from here, you see this giant squid-like octopus thing start climbing out with using its tentacles to get it to come out into range. Some of them, there's more tentacles than this. Some of them are just still kind of holding, like, clasped under the water ledge there. It just wants to get into range to pew pew. And with Aurelio's 22, I don't think it can see him at the moment, so Molly, you're the lucky gal.
Try me.
Does a 27 hit you?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it bloody well should. 33 damage.
Alright.
And, does a 15, I guess, doesn't hit you?
No.
Alright. So
Armor class is 18.
tried to pew you, and that really fucked you up, but then it, like, slammed its tentacle down, and you're like, I ain't taking that shit! And, it jumped out of the way as it roars. Molly, it's your turn.
Alright. Let's make some calamari.
That's great.
I'm going to transfer, using my bonus action, the Hunter's Mark, to... I'm going to go for the main, like, head of the squid. And then, aiming right for his little eyeball, I'm going to take a shot.
Roll me that damage. Or that shot, I mean.
18.
That hits.
Alright. I'm going... only have one more of these left, but I'm going to make it a dreadful strike. Some ranger shit. And then let's go.
That did a lot of damage to it. So it roars in pain and all its tentacles spaz out, but it's obviously still up, and its little eye just glares at you like you will be my dinner.
Alright. Second attack. Another 8. I feel like I've rolled 18 every time.
You have rolled a lot of 18s. Roll me that damage.
So weird. Alright.
17. Another good chunk out of it. Anything else for you, ma'am?
I guess I'm just gonna kind of back up a little bit more. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get out of range of it now, but... well, you know what? Let me see. Okay. If I move here, does it get like an op attack or?
No.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to like go around the edge of the wall a little bit, but I don't know, that will save me.
Alright. Aurelio, your turn.
think he's just trying to stick to the plan here and using probably the same sort of method to try and get this thing out of the wall.
All right, make me that roll.
23.
Yeah, you definitely like wedge in there even more, and let's see if you can pop it out this time.
Six.
That is enough. With that, you gave it a good shove, and it out of the wall. It's it flickers a bit, but it's still then it settles and starts glowing again solidly.
I think I'll just slip that into my bag for now. I think with my bonus action, I'm going to use a healing word on Molly.
Not a bad call.
Hell yeah.
And it's not much, but 5 HP back.
I will take it.
And then with my cunning action, could I still hide?
Cunning action is on your bonus action, so
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, no. But we will see if it wants to attack you or Molly, considering who's been doing the most damage to it lately. And lucky for you, it's going after Molly. 25 hit you.
Yes.
I would like you to please make me a... It doesn't say what the fuck it needs to make. Gosh, Roll20 needs to work on its monsters just a little bit. Yeah, I think strength save would make sense. So please make me a strength save.
But why? Oh god, wait. I have inspiration. Can I roll my inspiration?
Sure.
Thank you. That's better.
Alright, so this tentacle, instead of spewing its little at you, it comes down and tries to wrap itself around you. In that moment, it crushes you for 15 damage and starts trying to drag you towards it, but you manage to, get the fuck out, just barely slide out of its grasp. And with that... going to try to hit you again with a 22 to hit.
That hits.
You take another 23 damage.
I'm down.
And it can't do that grapple move again, but Aurelia, you would just notice that it's starting to pull, wrap around her leg to drag her towards it. She isn't technically grappled yet, but that's just what it's doing. Molly, please make me a death saving throw. What is a bad memory that makes you want to leave this mortal life?
Oh, it's definitely coming back to the artificer shop. First thing, noticing that the door is kind of off of its hinges, and maybe that the doorknob itself is kind of just broken, the door won't close. And her opening it, it's dark inside. She kind of lights a torch to see her way in, and then just seeing maybe there's the counter, and just past it a pool of blood. That would be it.
Yep, that's a sad memory. Aurelio, you see this thing trying to pull Molly towards it. What do? You do have the green gem now.
Well, I heard Molly mention calamari earlier, and I'm just wondering if she likes it fried or, raw, so I'll just go ahead and launch a fireball. out in that direction and just light pretty much all of it up.
That is dex saves, right?
Indeed, yeah. 15 for the DC.
Two passes and one fail. The fail is on the head, so...
27 total damage, or halved for the successes.
16, and then 27. His head is starting to look pretty fried and bloodied, just all the damage it's taken. It's bloodied. Anything else for your turn?
Can I use another healing word? I can't remember the ruling in this game. Yeah, I'll go ahead and use another healing word, and I'll probably upcast that a bit.
Yeah, we've done it before. Continue to do so again.
17 this time for your healing, Molly.
That memory in your mind as you suddenly gasp awake. With whatever word Aurelio yelled at you. What was the word?
I think it was to don't die.
Good word. Good words. Not today.
Well, he up past it, so he gets more than one word.
Yeah, exactly. Every level up, you get to add more words.
Yeah.
Alright, anything else for your turn there?
I debated moving, but I think I'm going to stick right where I am.
Alright, with that, this giant squid roars, and now it sees a new mark that hurt it, and it does not like you. I assume a 26 hits you, Aurelio.
26 will hit.
27 damage. And does a 21 hit you?
Typically it would, but I'll cast shield for that one.
Good idea. So instead, I'd like to imagine your shield is somewhat changed now with the recent choices. Maybe it's like almost this light breeze that goes around you of leaves.
I think it's a little bit more... I think it kind of suits which land that I'm currently under, since I'm a Circle of the Lands druid. And so right now I think it's a little bit more of like fire or sand than it is, since I'm arid right now. But I've also got ideas for like ice and like mushrooms and poison, stuff like that, as I go through the different lands.
No, I love that. So then when it tried to hit you, it kind of like the sand sort of bounced off, like away as it pulled the tentacle back and roars angrily. Molly, your face is in the dirt and your leg's a little slimy.
I think first thing Molly's gonna do is get up.
Good call.
And then she'll just kind of like tip her hat over to Aurelio. And then I'm gonna use my bonus action to drink a healing potion.
Not a bad choice.
It ain't much, but I will take it.
Did you take the greater healing potion Willow gave you? Did you add that to your inventory?
Yeah.
Okay,
I did.
Just making sure.
Actually, I didn't add it to... I just wrote it down in my notes. I did not add it to my inventory sheet yet. I need to do that.
Just wanted to make sure you remembered you had it.
Yeah, for sure. Alright. Let's do this thing. I'm gonna shoot at the squid, aiming for the same spot. Just right in its eye.
Yeah, 20 will hit. $11 damage. Alright, and I assume you're gonna shoot it again.
Oh, yeah.
A 12 just hits. It's a big guy. His AC's... he's easy to hit. 14, alright. He's looking, whatever 3/4 mark would be. Half is bloodied, so whatever the other... bloodied and bruised. Anything else for your turn?
I think I might just make my way over into this corner a little bit more, and that should be everything. Well, did it take half my movement to stand up, actually?
Yeah, it did.
I might be more like here.
Alright. With that, Aurelio.
Aurelio just launches another fireball, but he does it as he's kind of running, so you just kind of see him sprinting in this direction and just a fireball thrown out from one of his hands that lands kind of right in the middle over here and fries him up again.
Alright. One success and 2 failures for 30 damage. A success. Still, that tentacle explodes. That tentacle explodes. And, oh, Aurelio, how do you want to do this?
I think, as I said, I'm running. I'm trying to, like, duck and hide into the corner, so he, like, throws the fireball, doesn't even look until he's, like, in the corner and hidden. And as he, like, looks back around, it's just, like, writhing, flying around, like, the tentacles are lashing out, just covered in flames, and they're, you know when you, like, overcook something and it kind of bursts from the inside out? I feel like that effect is kind of going on.
Like it's blood boiled out. Yeah, so it kind of just and screeches and flops onto the ground and then eventually falls into the pool. And you see it's like the blood leaking up in the water as it's finally gone.
Aurelio takes 10 minutes or 5 minutes or however long it takes to just shift earth over and just fill in the pool as much as he can.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
And then realizing he's got a spell, there might be an easier way to maybe get these crystals out, and tries to use the mold earth around the crystal to just drop it into his hand.
That'll definitely make it a bit easier to have it pull away. You'll still have to, like, because it's like minerals in the rocks. Yeah, but it definitely makes it way easier to pop them out that way, and you get the 3 different colored ones you need.
Well,
While you do that... Sorry.
I don't know. Oh, I was just going to say, I don't know about you. I'm feeling... a little rough. If you don't mind taking a few minutes, we can maybe stay down here, drink a couple more healing potions before we surface.
Yeah, that works for me. I'm gonna cast Goodberry, actually. And I'm gonna sit here and eat 10 Goodberry and heal 10 hit points.
Okay. And you won't be hungry for the rest of the day.
Exactly.
Oh, I forgot.
You
guys
healing potion.
Yeah, go for it. You guys would still hear the bag too, like, my goodness, what sort of mess have you brought me into in this place?
No.
All I wanted to do was get back home to my nephew, and you fools, you vagabonds have to bring me into this hellscape.
Are you fireproof?
What kind of ridiculous question is that? I am... You will not! It's like it took him a moment to realize. If you destroy me, Ahmad will have your head.
I mean, maybe just fucking relax a little bit. We're going through it right here. Did you not fucking see that sea monster thing that we just had to fight? Why don't you cool it down a little bit there, bud?
I never would have been this disrespected in my life. No, now all I am is this bag. And I can't even be a nice bag. Couldn't they at least have made me velvet? No, I have to be this burlap. Who makes
Apparently not even a fireproof bag.
Who makes royalty burlap?
Aurelio thinking back to what he's done to aristocrats.
Yeah, wrong person to ask, but you guys drink up your healing potions and get a little bit better before you, and I assume you start heading back up.
I like how the text on the Roll20 like normal healing potions says potion of healing, healing, healing.
Oh.
Healing.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it was both of ours. It was mine and his. I don't know why.
It's because for some reason it looks like it's called Potion of Healing. So then, of course, yeah, Potion of Healing. That's great. Alright, as you guys make your way back up to the arena, make sure it did update your health on these tokens. I think it does it throughout the board, so.
Oh, it looks good to me.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, fine. I suppose you succeed in this one. And she waves her hand and this black smoke comes down to pluck the gems out of your hands, Aurelio. And they come up to her and she gathers them up and... Oh, the smell of magic. Never gets old, does it? And then just throws them behind her. With that... Well, you succeeded. So, she pats Willow's head. They don't have to get hurt, but you do. And I would like you both to take another 10 damage as this black smoke kind of surrounds you and seems to poison you a bit. You don't get the poison condition, but you get hurt. It'll be interesting to see how you succeed in the next one. Are you ready? I don't really care, but... Hop in and... Oh, sorry.
Aurelio... I think Aurelio probably reacts just like I did with that, like, sort of, like, uncomfortable laugh, like, oh, fuck.
Hop in, and in front of you is this like crater just kind of forms. And just remember, pet, you could have been up here with me.
Molly's definitely given a little side eye at these comments because she doesn't know any of that history, so.
No, not much. I think with that, just to kind of personally maybe rub a little salt into the wound for Abyssria, Aurelio's going to transform into his half panther form.
That does make her frown a bit, and... Well, you better get it done. I wouldn't want to see what happens to your friends if you don't.
So, Molly, I don't know if you've seen this happen for Aurelio yet, but he goes from like this little 2.5-foot tall halfling to a 14-foot tall panther-like creature.
Nice.
Alright, let's get going.
And you hop in. As you do, you end up in it's like you're just falling through this darkness at first, and then it gets really, really, really hot as you see a glow down below. And eventually you end up finding yourselves falling towards this rivery lava pit with an arcane symbol on some rocks in the middle, but there are rocks along the sides that you are also seemingly heading towards. But how do you stop yourself from splatting?
Oh, I really climb along the side of the wall. He's just been hooked to the side of the wall using his cat claws, just climbing down.
Sure, yeah, that works for you. Just sliding down all pimp. But Molly, what do you do?
I'm just gonna take a turn to activate my winged boots, so that way I can fly.
That works too. So you guys both land pretty okay as let's switch maps here. You see this guy in the middle, some sort of cultist looking guy. I couldn't think of the word. And he seems to be like doing some weird chanting over this like bloodied pedestal here, and then there's these crystals around him here that are glowing red, and you kind of see a vague connection to him. What do you do?
Well, I think Molly would just look over at Aurelio and be like, wait, she didn't give us any instructions this time, did she?
I don't remember any. Do we make a friend?
Might as well try.
Yeah, that does give up the element of surprise. If we have surprise, I look around like...
That wasn't the one I wanted. That was the one I wanted. Okay, there we go.
Do we seem to be noticed yet?
He seems to be focused on his whispery chanting.
Okay.
We could always just take a fucking shot from him back here.
That's true. And then we get the element of surprise, at least for a second there.
Yeah, fuck it, let's go for it.
Alright. Give me those rolls. What are you doing exactly?
Well, first things first, I'm gonna hunter's mark this person. I don't think people can tell when you put that on them.
I don't think so, from what I remember.
I mean, I imagine if, like, he's looking at you, there's probably some sort of, like, thing you do to do the mark, like, throw your,
yeah.
you know. But at the moment, it seems like he's not paying attention to the two of you, so... He doesn't seem to react when you put the hunter's mark on him. You do notice this, like, bloody pedestal is also kind of starting to pump out a little of the black and purple chaos smoke that is Abyssria. Anything else you guys do?
I'll let Molly take her shot first, and then I'm going to follow up with a shot of my own.
Alright. Well, I'm going to... Sorry, just thinking about what I want to do real quick. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Just regular shoot this guy. 14.
14 hits.
Oh, sweet.
With that, he takes... You see that it's like... Damage happened, but it's like it didn't quite hit him. He's not bleeding, he's not, like, hurt. It's almost like this little reddish hue of a shield took that damage instead, as these crystals pulse. Aurelio, what would you like to do?
That's kind of what Aurelio was waiting for. He wanted to see if maybe something like that would happen, so he actually changes the direction of his shot. He's got, like, his pistol out, and it's just a little bit of a shift, and aims for, I'd say, probably this crystal here.
All right. Make me that attack roll.
27.
That does not hit. No, I'm kidding. It hits.
Now, would you give me my sneak attack on this one or no?
Probably not on the crystal.
I had a feeling. I felt like it had to be more of an animate object. But 13 damage with my first attack.
All right. You see
And I
it
just
kind
let
of
go.
chipped it a
go
bit.
ahead.
Oh, you see it kind of chipped it a bit, like you did do damage to it, but not a ton yet.
Yeah, I just go in for another shot with my multi-attack and just bang.
All right. Make me another roll.
14 that time.
That hits.
Another 9 damage.
All right. And with that,
And
let's
then with
roll
a
in.
little, like, duck over to the side. Oh, I guess we're the surprise round, so never mind.
Yeah, let's roll that initiative, shall we? Damn, Molly, you're just rolling damn good today.
My lucky day. I feel like last session I wasn't, so.
You did roll really good on stealth and what have you, but yeah, in the combat I think you weren't quite as lucky
Yeah.
as D&D goes, isn't it? Alright, with that, you're first up.
Alright. So, what state is the crystal in now that he was kind of shooting at?
This one is, it's pretty chipped up. Like, it looks like a chunk got shaken out, and it's sort of doing that pulsing glow.
Alright. She's definitely going to take a page out of Aurelio's book then and just try to finish what he started.
12 will hit.
Alright. Oh, take away 3 from that, because I don't get my hunter's mark.
Okay.
So 15 damage.
Yep, more chunks of it scatter off as it looks a lot more fucked up. Still floating there, though.
Alright, and then second attack. 21 to hit.
That one doesn't hit, but no.
And 9
uh,
damage.
It is hanging on by a thread. Literally, it's a thread of a crystal left, just pulsating there. With that, though, it brings us to this cultist wizard dude's turn. And he is going to... cast... I need the details on this. And now I need a measurement. Yep. He reaches one hand out behind him and just shoots out a lightning bolt at you guys. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please. Molly definitely passes. But Aurelio, you are going to take the full front of this. If I can find out how to roll this damage. What the fuck? Alright. Guess we're doing it the old-fashioned way. The total's 19 damage that you take, Aurelio, but Molly, you will take 10. I always round up, just so you know, when it comes to odd numbers.
Alright.
So good for you, but also good for them. And with that, he brings his hand back and continues his enchanting over the thing. Aurelio, your turn.
And I hate to interrupt his plans, but a fountain of churned earth just starts erupting all around him, breaking up the ground, destroying the runes on the ground, shattering everything kind of all around him on the ground, turning it into difficult terrain, and I'm going to need a dex save from him and potentially the pillars as well as I use Erupting Earth.
Can you please post that into the chat for me?
Oop, wrong one.
Alrighty. I will say you'll still get the difficult terrain. It's not going to destroy the arcane symbol. It'll kind of pop up through the different parts of the actual rune, as magic seems to keep it safe. But the pillars will get hit too, that these crystals are kind of on, so they'll just kind of fail because they're inanimate objects, and he failed, so please roll me that damage.
I accidentally rolled it already, so it's going to be 14.
Oh. Alright, let's do the damage to these first. See if they go away.
Man, that's kind of low for 3d12, I feel like.
I was thinking the same. That's a bummer, right?
Hate when that happens.
Yeah, it was a 4, 4, and 6.
Alright, so they are all still up, but they're not bloodied, but bludgeoned. And he took it too, but obviously is shielded, so it seems like it got absorbed while they're still... These crystals are still floating there. Anything else for your turn?
Yeah, there's a little bit more that he'd like to do, but yeah, he was just trying to think outside the box on that a little bit and see if he could break up the rune. But he's just going to shoot at this guy again. Or probably this crystal over here.
Yeah. Also, just so for you as a player, it's mostly because this is like a godly situation that the rune is able to stabilize that way. If it's like a regular wizard, I'd probably have you like roll off whether or not you could destroy it.
Easy enough, but 25 for the pistol attack on the crystal on the south side of the room, and 11 damage.
This one is now also just a sliver of a crystal. barely upstanding. Anything else for your turn?
Yeah, with my bonus action now, I'm just gonna like tuck into a little ball, or I guess a big ball, and try and hide in plain sight here, using my cloak, wrapping it around me.
Well, that being said, actually, technically, you shouldn't have been able to fire with the spell, because the spell is an action.
I've got a multi-attack, don't I? And I thought we had discussed that I could use the spell and the attack action on there.
Did we? I don't remember. We'll go with it. Okay. Then yeah. Where do you try to hide here? In this kind of open space. And you're too big now to hide behind Molly.
I'd say if I've got my full movement, I'd probably try and get up to here, jumping across the gap, and hide behind this pillar.
Sure. Make me an athletics there.
Roll that again. 6.
All right, as you jump across the gap, your foot slips a bit and backs into the lava, just touching it a little. I don't want to make it that difficult, so I'm gonna lower the damage that lava usually is, just because I wanted it only a graze. So we'll do that. 12 damage. It's 10d10, and I didn't want to kill you off of that, off of slipping. Alright, anything else? That's it? You're hiding?
Yep.
Okay. Molly.
Alright. Just like when I was watching the area and that crystal was destroyed, did I see, like, was there any kind of noticeable change, or is it all kind of still look the same?
Yeah, on him it's like the red sort of shimmered a bit, and now it's like slightly more dull, I guess. 1/4 more dull.
Yeah. Alright. Which one is the one that Aurelio has hit? Or did he do a little damage to all?
He did a little damage to all, but this one he did extra, and it's
okay.
It's very badly hurt.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna take a shot at that one then.
16 hits. And you destroy this into a burst of red, and similarly around him, that shimmer dulls.
Alright. And then I'm just gonna go for this one in the back here. Let me see what the range is. Okay, I should still be good to hit it. A 28.
That hits. For a 14. It is also a sliver of magical crystal now, barely holding on.
Alright. I think that's it for my turn.
Alright, with that, it brings us to this wizard guy. Ooh. Molly, I'm sorry, you rolled a nat 20 against you and does 51 damage on his arcane burst.
Alright. I'm down. Story of Molly's life. It was like that third time.
To be fair, I scrambled this together and I probably put too much CR level on you guys, so...
That's alright.
Aurelio. What would you like to do?
I think he probably starts by shooting this far one over here with his pistol.
Alright. 27 will hit.
And 16 damage.
Shatters into pieces. And that shimmers very dull around him. Anything else?
Yeah, I think he's going to take another shot up at the one at the top.
Make me that roll. That hits.
17 and 12 damage.
And it is hanging on by a sliver.
And I think he's going to sprint over here behind it and try and hide again.
Make me that hide. Stealth.
18.
Whatever you're doing. That thing. Molly. Again. Please make me that death save.
Alright, it's gonna be a nat 20. So,
I believe in you.
Other way with it.
Wow.
Perhaps not.
I think we know what really bad memory you have. That makes you want to die.
Definitely. It just picks up from where the last bad one left off to her actually like finishing, like walking into the shop and seeing like Opal's like dead body kind of like laying in the pool of blood. And her just going up to her, like moving her hair out of her face, like trying to, basically sitting there casting Revivify for like every spell slot that she has, but it's too late.
Those lifeless
and that's why
eyes
that was
looking back
one.
up. Yep. Alright. This guy can't see Aurelio. Does he want to look for him? Don't think so. I think he wants to finish his chanting, so with that, more of that smoke and the blood kind of bubbles, and you get the feeling like he's put some more effort into this, and it's about ready to do whatever it is he's doing. Aurelio, it's your turn.
How secure is the crystal in its holding, I guess you would say?
Pretty secure. It's like pretty wedged in there. Unless you have a very compelling, cool argument that'll make me change that.
Alright, I'll pitch you something.
All
with the erupting earth that I used a few rounds ago, with the damage that it took, I feel like it probably would have been shaken just a little bit out of its pedestal, or maybe even chipped away around the base.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So it was really secure, but now you see, like, it because of that, the pillar itself kind of crumbled around it, and so you can pluck it out if you want.
I'd like to just kind of knock it into lava.
Yeah, easy enough to do. Into the lava it goes. And it just melts into nothing as he completely loses that red hue around him.
And with that, Aurelio just fucking charges right for him and pounces on him.
Make me your, I assume your, like, claw attacks or whatever.
I think he's going right for the fucking throat. He's trying to bite his throat.
Alright, 22 definitely hits.
And 13, actually, I'd say this one does probably... no, I don't think I'd have advantage on him. Would you count this as a sneak or no?
Yeah, actually, he didn't see you. He didn't take his time to search for you, so...
Another 4.
Alright, so you bounce on and get into him, and he's, like, gagging and bleeding, barely able to stay alive. He's definitely stopped his chanting, so let's turn that off. Do you have anything else for it?
I think that first action was probably an action, right? So that I don't think that was free, so I don't think I've got a secondary attack here.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I think that would make sense, but I do have a bonus action and I think I'd use my healing word. I'm sorry, Molly, but I think I've got to do this on myself. Gets me a little healthier. But jaws are currently clamped around this fucker's throat.
Blood pouring into your mouth. And with that, Molly, do you live or die? Let's
Good
find
question.
out.
All right.
All right, we'll come back to this.
Next time on.
Hey, if Willow gets to you soon enough, won't be a problem. Or if Aurelio has another spell slot. But I guess actually, do you have another bad memory, or is it just a continuation of Opal?
Yeah, I think just because I kind of like how they're all connected. I think it would just be. It would probably be her just sitting there, like rocking, like the lifeless body back and forth, and then just
That hurt. Anyway, sorry, continue. This is emotional.
Alright, it just, it would just be, after her finding Opal, it'd just be her, like, holding her and kind of, like, rocking back and forth and crying, for sure.
And as you feel death's door coming towards you, a little part of you almost feels relief. Finally, you'll see her again. Unless Aurelio fucks it up and brings you back. With that, this guy is getting nommed on by this savage panther on top of him. Aurelio, I'd like you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Now, I'm just curious, is this something that would require him to use something verbal?
A good question.
I only asked because a minute ago he was able to stop chanting because I had that death grip around his throat, but...
It is verbal, and you know what? I think I'll do that just because of the fact that you are clamped on his throat right now. Instead, he's going to do another thing, which a 10 doesn't hit you, right?
Nope.
So he tries, as he's like, you know, you're on him and he's trying to push you off. You feel this like arcane magic build up and kind of just claw his hand away, like, fuck off. And it is your turn.
I think I've got like that cat kick going on where I'm just kicking out with both of my like lower feet trying to disembowel this guy.
18 hits. And that's how you kill him, I guess. So yeah, you start savagely opening up his bowels as they start spraying behind you, and eventually you just feel the, like, it stops becoming twitches of struggles and just becomes those death twitches as he fades away into oblivion.
Well, it's still got a few beats. I'd probably rip out the heart, and as I'm moving back over towards Molly, I'm just like nomming on it like an apple again and getting over to her and just using my really one of my last spells in Revivify.
Molly, there's a moment as you're heading towards death. You see in this sort of black space fades into this lava pit, and you see your body beneath you. And when you look up, you see a man with black hair and black eyes. Not completely black, just pupils are black. Staring at you, and he reaches his hand out, and you know this will be who can guide you to the afterlife. And as you're about to take it, Aurelio casts Revivify, and you gasp into your body.
Is that up with just 1 hit point? Yeah, it looks like it. I don't think Molly really comes back dramatically. Like, I think it's almost like just like a slow like blink of her eyes, and you see like a tear like drip down.
For a moment behind Aurelio, you see that man still standing there with his hand out, and then he clasps it, completely emotionless though, and then fades away into the mist.
Now, I'd say if you're looking across kind of over where Aurelio was, he doesn't look quite as fucked up as you are. But he's bloody. He's got like he's sitting on the ground with like both hands over his knees, just taking a second here because he's pretty fucked up too.
Eating the last chunk of heart.
Yeah. Hell, that fucking sucked.
How long do you think we can stay here before she tries to bring us back?
Knowing her, it's probably going to be pretty fucking quick, but I wouldn't mind trying to shortly rest here for a minute.
Fine.
Yeah, there's no chance you get a short rest as from the pit above, these black smoky tendrils come down and wrap around one waist the other and start yanking you back up.
Aurelian's just like hanging. He's not putting any fucking effort into helping, so he is literally just like flopped, and he's drinking a potion, his potion of greater healing, as he's just being dragged.
Yeah, I think Molly's gonna down her last 2 health potions on the way up there too.
All right.
And then... Oh, sorry. I don't know how long of a trip it is back up there, but I will also attempt to eat some good berries if you'll allow it.
Yeah, I'll allow that. Like,
thank you.
A minute or so.
Oh, cool. Then I'm drinking another potion then, if that's the case. I just drop the other one down, like let it clatter along the way and pull out another one.
Yeah, no worries. And with that, these tendrils kind of flip you guys up into the air a little, and as the hole, just enough to let the hole cover so that when you land on sand on your asses. Very unceremoniously. Abyssria looks down at you like, well, it's fair, I suppose. You succeed and your friends can go. I really was looking forward to having an adopted son. She nuzzles against Willow, who looks kind of terrified. Oh well, I suppose your daughter will have to do, as she touches her stomach, looking at you, Aurelio.
Aurelio just fucking laughs and spits up some blood, like, just spits it into the dirt.
Well, unless it's born a boy, I suppose. There is that chance. I don't really know.
Either way, it'll be a strong baby, that's for fucking sure.
You could have helped raise it. No shame. Well, fuck off now. And everything fades away, and you guys are back at the bandit camp.
Aurelio's gonna ask the lawyer now. He's just putting this note down for later about paternity rights. Being if the lawyer can help me in court.
A god's paternity rights. That's great. Everyone shows up, and you guys are the most fucked up out of all of them. They all took, like, I think only the 10 HP from your Sphinx failure. So I gotta bring them all down that.
Should have failed more often.
Well, then they wouldn't have been freed, and you guys were outside too.
Real quick, what was the answer to the riddle that we didn't solve?
There was
I was
two.
curious about that too.
Yeah, the two you couldn't get. Oh yeah, there is no hole in the dirt was the trick question there. And then you can feel me but not touch me, you can see me but not look at me, I am small but you could never lift me, what am I? The sun.
Sun's not small.
Comparatively to where you're looking. And that's what
Aurelio just kicking the dirt over there like, that sun's not fucking small.
Well, you know, riddles are riddles. But with that, Willow is like, are you guys okay? And we'll fucking heal the fuck out of you. Let's see. I gotta open his sheet up here.
For the first time since they started, Aurelio is actually above bloody, but he's barely above bloody.
Oh yeah, he's not on this because he went off to hunt but came back and I didn't bring his token back. So Willow will start with Aurelio because he's just slightly biased. You get 24 HP back.
You'd probably say I'm good there.
And then for Molly, you will do the same. You get 29 HP.
Thank you kindly.
Sure. And then he hugs Aurelio. Blood and all. He doesn't care.
Well, that was an interesting experience. Did you guys get to see all of it, or were you... Like, I'm curious with the auditorium if you were able to see what was going on in the...
Elijah
areas.
nods. We could see everything you were doing. That mage was quite a force.
And at least you guys got a good show. Aurelio, like, coughs up a little bit more blood.
It's regrettable we couldn't help, though.
Hey, you'll be on the next one, I'm sure.
I'm surprised you let us go so willingly.
I was also a little shocked by that. That was uncanny.
Although perhaps because she has something more of yours.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm gonna talk to our lawyer once we get to Port Harbis.
Probably not a bad idea, although I don't know if that sort of thing is so easy to figure out.
What fucking has been recently? I'll just laugh.
He's like, yeah, fair point.
And Molly, it was nice fighting side by side with you in there. You did a good job.
Thanks. You as well. Although I think I learned I'm maybe not too keen on riddles.
Hey, no, that was not one of our strongest suits, was it?
I'm glad you two are okay, Willow says. I was really worried.
I'm glad you're okay too, lad, and the rest of you are alright as well.
Yeah, she was really creepy.
I guess word of advice to all of you guys, maybe don't date the gods. They don't take it kindly when you break up with them.
Probably depends on who you date, really.
Yeah, the lovers are probably pretty good to you. I'll like wink over at Iris and Elijah.
Iris just blushes like profusely, and Elijah just kind of gives you a smirk and a nod.
All right, well, are we asking our questions now?
Yeah. I don't see why not.
Hey, let's go ahead and start making this easy, and I just go over there and with a sphere of water start waterboarding her before we even start answering or asking her questions.
Before you do,
head in the sand.
Before you do, Mimi will come over and just be like, "Friends, you all disappeared for a while," and these tentacles reach out and start like pulling you all in for this giant fleshy group hug with all of these eyes and mouths around this blob.
Molly lets it happen because Mimi is low-key terrifying, but she's remembering the squid that was literally just attacking her, and it's like a shiver is like going down her spine.
Mimi and I are old friends at this point. I just lean right into it.
Yeah. His tentacle like strokes your your panther hair.
The tail just twitches a little.
I think actually everybody in the group is so used to Mimi, except Trevor. Trevor's probably a little like, oh, okay. But everyone else just like really goes into the hug, especially Errol. I know Errol really loves those big Mimi hugs. But after that,
it's just like, what the fuck is this?
What sort of people did a mod send for me? I don't understand. You are all terrifying, but fascinating. I must know more. And yeah, now you can go, and after Mimi releases you all, and you can splash water on this woman's face, and she coughs and hacks.
It's not so much a splash. It's like a sphere of water that hovers over her head for a minute until she can't breathe anymore, and then the water stops, and she like coughs. Yeah, no, it's
yeah, okay.
Aurelio's in a very short mood at this point. Like he's not taking no answers for answers.
Mini drowning a little there, and yeah, then she eventually, as you take the water away, starts coughing and hacking and looks at her predicament, unable to move, and fuck.
Here you are, Molly. Got her warmed up for you. I'll go and sit a little off to the side. Let me know if she gets difficult.
Oh, I will. And then there's a little like crack of the knuckles and crack of the neck.
Well, let's get this fucking over with then, shall we?
Alright. We know who you're with, and we know that you're here to get some kind of artifact. What can you tell us about it?
Nothing.
I hit her across the head with my pistol. Not trying to like really do damage, but
yeah.
Definitely trying to be intimidating.
Yeah, make me an intimidation check, I'd say, with advantage.
Alright. God damn it.
As you smack her across the face, she spits out blood and looks at you just unamused. Gonna have to hit a little harder than that, little girl.
Well,
a sphere of water just comes up from the... Like, Aurelio's not even getting up from his stump. It just circles around her head again.
Like, actually, like, on her head.
Yeah, like, you ever watch, I think it was Legend of Korra? I think it was the second season when Zahir uses his, like, air sphere to kill the Earth Queen.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but with water. So just picture this sphere of water going over her head and just sucking the life out of her until...
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, so you see the point where it's like you're gonna have to stop, and then you eventually give her some air. She starts coughing and hacking again, and... Fuck you all!
I think Molly's just gonna give kind of a lopsided grin and then just be like, well, you care to try answering that question again?
Honestly, I don't know what it is. Just some fucking artifact from a trace, apparently.
And who exactly sent you here to get it?
The higher-ups.
Names?
You fucking insane. I'm not gonna give you names.
An ice spike forms out of this sphere and just starts going in through like one of her ears slowly.
Oh god. She starts screaming again, and I'd like Aurelio to make me an intimidation check with advantage.
Nat 20.
Okay, that'll do. Now you're gonna make the person who hates making names up write out names. Alright, fucking stop! Jesus! What the fuck is wrong with you? I get my orders from... Oh, man. Connell. I don't know any above that. You should know. We keep things simple so that we don't fucking have this happen.
Alright, that makes sense to me. And this Connell fella, if we were to want to find him, where would we do that?
She hesitates a bit. I'm sure Aurelio just makes the ice spike a little known. The moment it touches her, she's like, fuck, Port Arbus! He's stationed there for now. He's been, working undercover.
Working undercover? Well, what's his day job?
He's like the mailroom or some shit.
And Port Arbus? Kind of a big place. Can you be a little more specific?
No. Actually, I can't. I didn't go there. He just sends me the letters.
Alright. Have you guys gotten close at all to finding this artifact?
There's just a little hesitation again until she feels the cold. And then she's just... I don't know. It's been a struggle. This used to be a large war field back in some fucking age of his, and his champion, or he, lost it in the whole mix. We've searched the east quadrant and the south quadrant. One of my officers thinks it might be in the west quadrant. No real reason, just a hunch of how the fucking history went or some shit. You'd have to ask him, but he's not here. You get the sense she's referring to the guy that ran away, but doesn't quite know Aurelio hunted down and murdered in the sky.
Who, me?
All right. And then, what exactly were y'all gonna do this, or with this when you found it? I want to know where you were taking it, who you were taking it to, and when you were supposed to take it by.
Back to Connell as soon as we found it. For whatever reason, we've been having to get out artifacts of different kinds. That's why we got that stupid fucking bag. I am not stupid! How dare you! Silence this woman immediately! And she's just like, ugh, because she still can hear it.
Now, this artifact and the bag, are those the only two that you guys have gotten so far?
Yes.
Well, Aurelio, I'd say that is about all my questions that don't pertain to a more personal matter. So if you have any that have to do with the artifact or anything like that, go ahead.
I guess my question would be, do you have any maps? You said that you've kind of searched various quadrants. Do you have any sort of record of those quadrants that you searched?
It's in the supply tent. She, like, gestures, like, backwards, meaning, like, this tent up here.
Man, that's about all I need from her. Do you want her alive or do you want to kill her?
I got a couple more questions for her.
All of you? And I'll walk over towards the tent to give Molly that moment alone and go and gather these maps.
I think everybody else in the party's pretty good about that kind of thing and also kind of steps away to give her that time alone. Willow will go with you. Mimi's the only one that is too dense to understand it and just is sitting there with all his eyes watching everybody.
He's also still hungry, probably.
Oh, he's eating everybody by now.
He's one tasty morsel left.
All the bodies are gone by now. Inside his stomach, he's just sorting all the equipment out.
Sorry, my headset is dying. There we go.
Unacceptable.
That was the bag talking. I just start hearing it in my real life.
Yeah. We are professionals here. How dare you? No.
I think Molly's just gonna wait till the two of them are alone. And then...
Like I said, mostly alone, except for Mimi. Because Mimi doesn't get it.
That's fine. She's just gonna pat one of Mimi's tentacles.
He pats you.
Oh, thank you. Alright. Do you have any inkling of who I am?
No, I don't.
Alright. And would you happen to know anything about a hit on an artificer shop in Freedom?
I mean, there's hits around everywhere. It's kind of what we do, isn't it?
Right, but this one I would say is a little bit out of the ordinary for y'all. I mean, really nothing was taken. It was more out of just payback. Nothing really in it for the people doing the job, if you know what I mean.
I guess you fucked up, didn't you?
Can I do an insight check to just be absolutely certain that she doesn't know anything about it?
Yeah, make me that insight. You are very confident she doesn't know about this hit. She is correct. They do a lot of hits, and it just wasn't part of her purview. you would know they're pretty big, so.
Yeah. Well, I really don't think I have any more questions for you, unfortunately. You got anyone that's gonna be missing you?
Is that gonna change your mind and killing me here?
Oh no, but I'll like send off a letter to them or something.
Fuck you.
Alright. With that, I mean, Molly's just gonna take her pistol and basically just put it, like, right in her eye. And then just the last thing that this woman sees is, like, the flicker of the flame as, like, the ignition, like, shoots the bullet towards her brain.
Hell yeah. And with that, you actually, see her soul lift out of her body a bit, and, that figure appears again, holds his hand out to her, but she doesn't want to go quite as much as you did. So she's like, fuck no, and starts to run. He glances at you, and you get the sense that you can see this specifically because he seems to want you to. But then looks at her, disappears, and appears closer and starts chasing her soul down until he grabs her, and they disappear.
Alright. I think Molly's just gonna sit there and contemplate things for a little bit.
As you do, Mimi just strokes your hair.
Thank you, Mimi.
I picture just one tentacle reaches over and pulls the body out of the ground and just starts like nomming from the other side. like pulls it away from you, but like
100%.
Still strokes it.
100%.
Oh, I guess.
Nice pet.
You know, I should probably
Smiles.
I should probably check the body first.
Well, you get the chances, yeah. So all these smiles, because you can make different mouths. He's petting you, smiling, and this tentacle's wrapping around the head and yanking it out of the dirt as another mouth is forming, like, behind it to start taking the body in. But at that point, you could be like, wait. And you'd be like, oh, can I eat it after?
Definitely, best friend. She gives it a little
best
wink.
Friend. All of these all the mouths just smile and its eyes light up, just so happy you called it best friend. And it drops the body at your feet.
All right. Do I find anything interesting?
Well, there was her pistol that Elijah already took from her, and then other than that, yeah, she'd probably have some money, like 100 gold on her. And let me double check character loot here, like what's on her sheet.
I think there's also somebody's monocles on her too. I think they were Trevor's, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd give those back for sure.
Yeah, Trevor's manacles. He'd probably come over with the key and take that off. She has a basic scimitar and some studded leather armor, but other than that, nothing else. Oh, and like a couple of things that, you know, the depraved thrills usually carry in their pockets, like if there's something they need to flash as a signal or, you know, what have you. Like, you're used to this sort of stuff, but it's nothing really valuable. You would have your own versions of them in your pockets too, or buried deep in your bag so you don't have to look at them.
Yeah.
But
right.
Yeah, after you do that, then Mimi starts dragging it into one of his mouths and chomps. That being said, Aurelio, as you enter this tent, I'm sure you're looking around for maps and things like that. As she mentioned, this is somewhat of a supply tent, so there is other supplies here, like food and, you know, various stuff. But
if there's any like cool sort of tools or supplies for Pearl, I'd probably try and grab those and put them off to the side.
Yeah, there could be like maybe stuff she could turn into something useful for sure. There's not like, the box of artificer scrap,
No,
so,
totally. But
yeah.
Anything that she could, like just scrap metal or things of gunpowder or something like that.
Yeah, they'd have gunpowder or like extra bullets or extra like basic swords, things like that you could definitely put to the side for her to use in some way. And then you would see more up front too is where they have a smaller box of like these maps and stuff that you pull out, and it's of the area, which I'll take us back to the world map real quick. So it's kind of out, I think I said it was the west of Grawl, didn't I? It's kind of like out here somewhere. And it's got like locations of this ancient battle that happened 200 years ago or some shit. And they've circled different quadrants and X'd off the two that they did, which I think I said north and south were the ones they did. But west seems to be circled with a note on it that's like, according to ancient texts, this is where the main force of Atreus was at the time. So, and it's not too far from you guys because they did set up camp kind of near it specifically to search it, so it like, depending on how much time, if you wanted to look for this thing, would take a few hours.
I'd pitch going out to look after it, and I know Trevor said that he wanted to look for it too.
100%.
I think Errol could also probably be convinced pretty easily with me mentioning there's maybe a little historical value to anything we might find.
Yeah,
I know you got a contract. Get your mind off the contract. We got some fun history shit. Let's go find some ruins. Let's go find an ancient battlefield. Come on, man.
Yeah, so I don't think it'd be hard to convince them to sort of head out that direction. And when you do, you see all of this area is like these sort of rocky terrain and with a little bit of mini mountains, if you want to say. They're not like mountains, but like rolling rock hills and stuff like that. And as you get out there, you can see by now it's not like there's corpses laid out. They're well long and gone from this point, but as you kind of search around and dig through some like rubble and things like that, occasionally you'll find like a sword hilt that was like buried in some rock rubble and things like that. So what do you guys do? Is there any tips or tricks you try to do to find this, or
I think just for Aurelio, he's been in contact with several divine artifacts at this point in time. So I think he's trying to probably, I don't know if this would be like more of an arcana or a religion, but trying to follow his nose a little bit in a spiritual way, I guess, and trying to let that draw him towards it, if possible.
I feel like that would be more religion.
$16.
Not too bad. So, as you guys are looking around, mucking around, kicking some rubble, course, the area is still pretty big, so it's kind of like, where do you even start, you know? There's this, like moment where you're like, can I sniff this fucking thing out? And, kind of, like, tune in, especially you're in your form right now, and you can kind of feel a little bit of that pulsating Gaia energy through you. It almost makes your scars sting just a little bit again. But with that, it's like this little scent of blood almost on the wind. And you start heading over to it. And when you get to this sort of like where one of the mounds is, you realize, actually make me, oh, what would this be?
Insight? Like kind of following my gut?
No, it's for something else. Either nature or survival, I'd say. For just a different descriptor, I wanna...
16 for survival.
So in this one area, it's almost like you see the ground sort of dips a little, and you realize, like, as you really are looking at it and you're kind of like getting that scent leading you here, that this is what's kind of caused a lot of the uneven landscape. Something big erupted here and rippled throughout the world. And at the very base of where this, it wouldn't really be considered a crater anymore, you know, with how much age has just altered it. But in the very base of this sort of bowl of rocky terrain, you can just get this sort of vibe like something is down there. But the ground isn't too easy to get through.
I've got actually something for this, I believe. Oh, what is it called? I think it's called like Land Stride or something. Oh, give me just a second to find this too. No, I think that's a change from...
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, is that's gone now.
Oh, that's a bummer. I liked that effect.
I mean, I have something called roving, and it basically gives me a climb and swim speed equal to my speed, but...
I got something similar with my Werepanther. So it looks like there's a change from the old rules to the new rules, and I don't have that same sort of land stride, which gives me no difficult terrain on there. But I do still have like my cat claws and my, I guess, nimbleness and movement with my climb speed that's equal to my speed to get down or through the terrain at least.
Yeah, all right. Make me an attack roll with your claws. I feel like Trevor would definitely be helping you, so make it with advantage if you please.
Ooh.
Oh.
$22.
All right. Yeah, with a 22, you start shifting and getting this dirt and rocks out of your way. Some of them are pretty heavy, and with Trevor's help pushing it and what have you, and trying to make sure they don't fall back because of the way the ground is just shaped. Eventually, you do see a glint of steel, and as you dig further in, you eventually find this immaculate looking, despite being buried under this rock for however long it has been, gorgeous, immaculate longsword. And the hilt is made of this like white with red symbol on it of Atreus. And it just, besides dusting it off, it looks like it's in perfect mint condition. And I know,
So it's heavy for me.
Yeah, Trevor would be like, I could use that.
Or we'll just put it right in his bag.
Seriously?
No, I'm kidding. Like I said originally, I'd say, yeah, that's a little too heavy for me, and indicate for Trevor to grab it. But also, like, I don't want to be the first person to touch this in 100 years either.
Why? The god of justice won't have any issues with you? No.
He loves me so much. All of the gods do.
No one has any issues with you whatsoever. There's a running tally, by the way, of how many they have pissed off in some form or fashion.
Molly, have you heard about the list yet?
No, I don't think so.
That's probably a good thing. You'd probably run away if you did.
Yeah. Actually, I think Iris would be actually saying that. Oh, there is a tally. But with that, Trevor will take the longsword for now, and Willow will offer to identify it because he can, and no one ever asks him to do that. So. I'm sure you let him take the 10 minutes that he needs to identify it, and I will post the what he gets from it once I find where I saved it, because I always forget where I save these things. This. It is known as... Actually, he wouldn't get the name of it. You need legend lore for that.
And just make sure to tell Jay that we gave it to Matt.
Yes. I'll have to build that in his character sheet later, but yeah, so Willow will name all these things like, oh, it's hits a little harder, does a little more damage, it vibrates when evil is near, and you kind of get advantage on knowing if bad people are lying, if they did bad things.
That sounds handy to have.
And you can kind of protect people too, if bad people are hurting them. And I'm sure Trevor will thank you for it.
Well, should we make haste back towards, what's the guy's name?
Ahmad.
Yeah, that kid looked like he could use, like, a month of sleep, so...
I used to be able to eat people's dreams. I don't know if this would have helped here, but, I mean, it may have been worth a shot to eat his nightmare.
Well, we did talk about buying both things for him, so you might still get a chance.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been able to do that in a little while. This is before all this, and I kind of indicate to the panther form.
Like she would know.
But I think as we're journeying back, I've got some questions for the bag, because it seems like it knows magic a bit. And since Errol's not here, I want to try and pick his brain on arcane symbols for flight for Mimi again.
Oh, well, that is quite oh my goodness, is that mimic turning into a wagon?
Oh, you should see him when he was an airship.
This is a large mimic. How did this ever happen? I don't understand.
Well, I just kept feeding it, or we kept feeding it.
Fascinating. I didn't know that was something mimics could do. But, yes, well, on the note of arcane symbols, of course, it's a little difficult with the runes for flight, as, well, the only place I know that has it is Cirrus, and they keep it a well-guarded secret, but... Actually, make an intelligence check on the bag. Hold on. Yes, he knows. However... there are quite a few intelligent minds out of Mine's Refuge, and I've heard rumors that a few people have broken how to make those runes, so if you just know where to look. And of course, you know, Lancaster would, but I assure you they would keep it very well hidden, those foul miscreants.
Well, Mimi, we got another lead.
What is a miscreant?
I point at Elijah.
He's like, what? So a cat person?
Elijah probably points back at me.
I guess that makes both of us, does it not?
Mimi, a miscreant is a ne'er-do-well, or somebody who doesn't do good. Not like us. We're all do-gooders here.
When the DM pauses to laugh. Of course we are. We are all the bestest of friends and the bestest of do-gooders.
I give him a high five.
A tentacle comes out of the wall to high-five you. But, on that note, he also says, oh, by the way, I have decided I can make Molly a room. It just means that Trevor's room is very small now. Sorry, Molly, but so is yours.
That's alright with me.
Aurelio, the smallest character, probably has the largest room.
Well, you've got... So, each room is about the same. You share yours with Willow. But you have a whole room dedicated to your alchemy. So, you have 2 rooms, technically.
I think it's just how, for me, it's kind of funny how small he is and how large his appetite is for fucking everything.
Yeah, between you, a halfling, and a 10-year-old boy, you definitely could take less space, but...
Doesn't say a damn thing out loud, though.
No, of course not. Oh, and Molly, I made a mistake. I tried to sell you the potion for a little bit too high. I'm sorry. I'm still learning how to be a merchant. I hope you can forgive me.
That's alright, Mimi. You know, mistakes between friends, that's nothing to forgive.
The walls just light up with a bunch of smiles. Reminding you are inside a mimic. Well, the new cost of the potion, as according to this book of merchantiles, is 200 gold.
You know what, Mimi? Sold. I'll take one.
Again, just all these smiles light up, but he still does the process with the wooden puppet. It turns around to that flat, out pops the potion, and it turns back and drops it on the table. And Aurelio, you recognize one of these potions.
Hey, is it one of my invisibility potions?
Yes, another one sold. Tally.
I'm over here typing it into the compendium like invisibility.
Yeah. All right. With that, takes you guys a couple of hours to get back to Grawl. It would be probably early evening now, as you make your way over to the back of Ahmad's house, because he asked you to go through the back door if a giant monster mimic is gonna sneak into his house. And I think we'll call it here and start next week, hopefully with everybody on the dreamscape. Yeah, I'm glad it was fun. Like I said, I'm sorry it was really tough, but I actually kind of liked how it went. You got to kind of meet the god of death there, so that's fun.
Yeah. And that was my first time like seeing Abyssria too, so
yeah, it was, and I also loved I liked this. I always planned Abyssria was pregnant from Aurelio, but I didn't know how exactly I was going to reveal it, so I kind of like having this random one-shot I had to do, because I'm like, you know what, this would be a perfect time to drop it. That's your punishment when you succeed. You get to know.
He sees it as a punishment, but also not at the same time. Like, he's excited. Not everybody gets to say that they're father of a demigod, right?
that's the truth. I like how you instantly were like, all right, and how do I get a lawyer to look at this?
Yeah, that was great.
Lawyers were fresh on the mind for sure.